I'm sorry, Dave.
You believe that there may be a genetic link to some breast cancers?
I do.
Even though virtually no one else believes this to be true?
That's correct.
Well, you know, Decoding Annie Parker is a hard film to describe. It's about a great many things. I mean, it's known thus far as the sort of breast cancer film because it's about Annie Parker, who gets breast cancer 3 times. It's also about Dr. Mary Claire King, who's a local geneticist here in Seattle, who made one of the most important discoveries of the 20th century, which is the BRCA gene and its mutations linked to certain types of breast cancer.
We have a proposition that certain breast cancers are inherited. No one else believes this. We do. To prove it, we have to do 4 things. Sarah?
Find a group of women who have relatives who have breast cancer.
You are a very, very interesting woman. So tell me about how did this end up being a major movie?
With all my cancer history, I was involved in a lot of my oncologist studies. And she lost some funding, and I said to her, what am I going to do if I'm not involved finding out about this? So she said, you need to go away and write a book. So I made a very poor attempt at writing a book and thinking I was an author.
Lead to breast cancer in so many women.
Why can't you just leave it alone?
I've got to do something.
It didn't get published, but what it did was provide Stephen and his son Adam and Dr. Michael Moss, the 3 writers of this, with the basis of my story.
It's about survival, it's about how we overcome individual cataclysms in our life, and ultimately it's a life-affirming film about 2 women who are enormously courageous, who do individually very, very important things.
I'm really scared that it's in our family.
What trouble we were in.
I found a lump in my breast. I'm really scared that it's in our family.
And how did you originally get involved in her story and this material? How did that come
It's a
about?
funny story. I had been a cinematographer for 30 years. I shot films like Water for Chocolate, like Monster and things, so important independent films, and then big studio comedies like Waterboy and Half-Baked White Chicks and Little Man and things. So I had a friend, Clark Peterson, who actually was the producer on Monster, who has been encouraging me to direct for a long, long time. I was reluctant because being a film director is a very painful thing. Most of the time you're trying to raise money. When you're not trying to raise money, you live in fear that the film you're making isn't good enough. I couldn't see the joy in that, but he had found some money in Canada. He assured me that that money was certain, and if I could find a Canadian subject matter, he would get it financed. Came across Ann Parker's story. I thought it compelling. I altered it considerably because I wanted to make it a hybrid of many other stories that I knew about women who had suffered and triumphed as she had. And of course I knew the story of Mary Claire King, the geneticist who I spoke about earlier. So I rang Annie and said, hey, can I combine these stories together? Can you be the woman who's emblematic of many women's stories?
I just knew this was going to happen. I went to my mom, I went to my sister, I went to my grandma.
Many women feel that way. Your family did have a bit of bad luck, but there are many complex
It's not
factors.
bad luck.
Third, isolate and sequence it to find the mutation. Then we find out if it repeats in the relatives, and if it does, then that is our link.
What was the experience for you across your journey seeing this on the silver screen? That must be really powerful and nerve-wracking and
Mixed emotions. The one thing and the beauty about this film that I really think Stephen captured was that he didn't want to make a film about cancer. And I totally understand that, because my cancer journey has not been about cancer. It's been about family, it's been about relationships, it's been about laughter and tears. I have had a bit of a warped sense of humor through this whole process, and sometimes sarcasm is the lowest form of wit. I know that.
That's good medicine.
But it is terrific medicine. You took the words out of my mouth. It's been what got me through.
Your biopsy shows that you have carcinoma of the left breast.
Phew. I thought it was going to be really bad news.
Once you went picture up, did you have a moment where you thought, oh hell, I can't make this movie?
I lived in terror every day. It's the moments when you go home at night and you think, how did I do today? And you have no objective measure. So I did a lot of experimentation. I was much influenced by the director Mike Leigh, and improv was very important to me. Even though I would very rarely use the improv to alter the script, I'd always want the actors to do at least one improv take, so I get the naturalism into their mannerisms and the way that they would speak. And then I would try to find the truth of that moment with those actors. But I was dealing with world-class actors, and I wasn't certain when I was getting a world-class performance from them or not. And there were moments, many dark nights of the soul, where I was absolutely convinced that the film was terrible, that I had ruined all the actors' career as well as my own, and that the film would never get seen. Yeah. So just believing that you're making something of quality is the hardest thing to do when you're doing your first film, because you have no objective measure.
There's a genetic link between mothers and daughters, sisters.
You are a remarkable woman, Anne Parker.
And the most remarkable thing of all, Anne Parker and Dr. Mary Claire King, the two principal people in my film, although portrayed by actors, for the first time met in real life here at the Seattle Film Festival. So it was a really important moment for me and for the audience. Absolutely magic. It was remarkable. A lot of people were from it.
Be curious.